Hey, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Be here with the UntitledGameShow.com. Back once again with more Pokémon XY WiFi battles. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a 6 full battle against one of my subscribers, Ruben. Shout out to you, Ruben. He's one of my big fans of the channel. He likes a lot of videos I do, from Pokemon to other stuff. So let's go ahead. I'm going to be starting off with Greninja, Hippo, and Hypno, not Hippo. And we're going to be starting off with the Hippo to start off Sandstorm. So once again, guys, I am actually using my Sandstorm team, but this is not specifically a Sandstorm strategy. I'm just happen to be playing with these Pokemons at the moment. Alright, guys? So you might see some tips right here where you guys can personally use for your own Sandstorm team, but this is not really based around Sandstorm specifically. It just happens to be that my teams can work in Sandstorm as well. So my opponent starts off with Lucario, among others. He has a Greninja on his side as well, but I'm pretty sure my Greninja is going to be faster because my Greninja does have maximum speed and quick claw. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Mat Block with my Greninja. Next up, I'm going to use Poison Gas with... well, Poison Gas would have been what I normally would have started out with Hypno, but in this situation where one of them are steel types and going to be immune to it, I'm going to go ahead and use Reflect because Lucario is only going to be using physical type attacks. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Stealth Rock using the Hippo. So I go ahead and start off with Mat Block, making my whole entire team immune to getting damage right now. He goes ahead and uses Leaf Blade. I completely avoid the attack because of Mat Block. He goes ahead and uses Close Combat. I completely avoid it because of Mat Block. And he uses Dark Pulse, and I completely avoid it because of Mat Block. And that's why Mat Block is such a great attack, guys. I go ahead and use Reflect, so I have set up right away. It seems all his Pokemons, two of them at least, these two were going to be using physical type attacks. I was going to avoid those right away. And Greninja was going to be using a dark type attack on Mr. Hypno over there, which was going to do a decent amount of attack, but damage, but was not going to be able to kill my Hypno because my Hypno has a pretty good amount of defense. Unfortunately, like I said, guys, this is a Sandstorm team, but not 100% because some of my teammates are going to still get buffled by the Sandstorm. But I think I'm in a pretty good situation right now. I've set up my Stealth Rock. I set up my Reflect. So I am doing fairly fine for myself right now. Alright, guys. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and use U-Turn. The reason I'm going to use U-Turn is because his Greninja is a pure Dark type right now, which U-Turn is going to do a massive amount of damage on him. Next up, I'm going to set up Light Screen as well. And last thing last, I'm going to go ahead and use... This is where I'll finally just go ahead and use Earthquake, sorry, not Crunch. So I let my Quick Claw let me go first, even though I still was the fastest Pokemon in the field either ways. So I turn into a Bug type, Pure. Massive damage on Greninja, because he's a pure Dark type now, guys. See, that's where his disadvantage came in right there, because I expected him to use Dark Pulse against Hypno, guys. You gotta anticipate what your opponents are gonna do. So here's where I'm gonna get the advantage again, because I'm gonna bring out a Steel type who is gonna be able to work really well in the Sandstorm. And seeing that none of his Pokemons have a move that I think is gonna be too much of a threat to me right now, I'm gonna be able to just fine, because that Grass attack wasn't gonna do much, and if he keeps Greninja out there, I'll be just perfectly fine. He's gonna use Close Combat. Gonna do some damage, but not enough, and he's basically just weakening himself for no apparent reason. Because remember, guys, I do have Reflect in play right now. He goes ahead and uses Dark Pulse. It is gonna hit my Greninja. Sorry, not Greninja. My Hypno, but my Hypno is made specifically to be a tank and survive until he can set up fully. So my Hypno right now is using Light Clay, which extends the turns of Reflect and Light Screen to 8 turns. For 8 turns, my Pokemons are going to be pretty well defended. So yes, I just attacked my own Hypno right there, but it was at the cost of killing Lucario, which was well worth it. And Hypno already put up Light Screen, and he put up Reflect, so his job is basically done. Only thing else I would want Hypno to really do is go ahead and use Poison Gas. But at this point, if he dies before he can use Poison Gas, I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Alright, guys? So right now, I think I'm in a fine situation right now. Nothing's going to really bother me much. And instead of with the Magna Zone, instead of attacking, I'm actually go ahead and go into a substitute to set up. Because my Magnezone is really defensive because the teams I'm playing with right now can destroy Magnezone because he is playing on a ground type team and I use a lot of Earthquake. So we got intimidated. Well, it's gonna hurt though, but Magnezone does have a decent amount of well, as you will see real soon, he has a pretty decent amount of attack, so that's one good thing about Magnezone. I'm gonna go ahead and use Poison Gas, see if Hypno survives that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use, for the birdie up there, we're gonna go ahead and use, because that bird is kind of dangerous, to make guarantee that it dies, I like to play with status effects, so I'm gonna use Toxic. So we took that like a champ. Our defense did fall though, so that does kind of suck. Dark Pulse is going to take out Hypno, which is fine, guys. Remember, this is okay. Hypno did his job. It set up Light Screen and Reflect. It needs to get out of the way to save me from switching out. I go ahead and use Substitute. He uses Aerial Ace. Hypno's going to survive that like a champ. I go ahead and use Toxic because the reason I use Toxic, in case Hypno did die, I automatically want this Pokemon to be slower. Because this is the fastest Pokemon on the field right now, I don't want it to sit out there and just keep being fast as hell. So everybody on the opponent's side team is keep on dying because of the Sandstorm and because of Poison. So they're all just going to sit there and die very slowly. So next up, I'm going to actually switch into my boy right here, which is Greninja. Now, why would I switch back into Greninja? Because this gives me a free turn. As you guys will see, my Greninja is the fastest Pokemon on the field, and this is how you can alternate between using an attack and map block over and over. Here's where I could go ahead and do a stupid move and use Magnet Bomb, even though it's not my strongest attack. I just like to actually use this move. I'm going to go ahead and use map block. So I'm fairly confident I'm going to win this game at this point, and I'm going to use Earthquake just to take out the Pokemon in the middle. Now, why can I use Earthquake and not be worried about Greninjas? Because what's about to happen right now? I use Quick Claw, let myself go first. I use Map Block, and Map Block even protects my Greninja from my Hippo's Earthquake, as you will see in a few seconds. And this is just how I think ahead while playing Pokemon. It's the way I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it's the way I play chess. So he uses Dark Pulse. I completely avoid the attack. I go ahead and use Magnet Bomb. Isn't that so cool? It just attaches to them and kill them. It's not a very strong attack, but it never misses, and it does enough damage to kill Greninja, which is perfectly fine. I lost some HP because I'm using Life Orb. He uses Brave Bird, but it blocks. I use Earthquake. Oh, it doesn't actually affect them. Oh, I didn't realize it. Oh, okay, yeah, it does affect it. Okay, I was about to say. It doesn't affect this Pokemon. The names are both S names kind of confused me for a second. So as you guys can see, that worked out perfectly for me. His Pokemon's all got the damage right there. Greninja's perfectly fine. On my next turn, all I'm going to have to do is just use Ice Beam to take out his flying Pokemon right there. I could go ahead and use whatever move I want to use with the Hippo to take out him. And Magna Zone could use Thunder, Protect, or anything else I personally want him to use to make sure he survives. So Garchomp comes out, which is an Earth type and is going to be doing massive amount of damage during the Sandstorm. So that is kind of dangerous, but I am behind a substitute, so that's going to be saving me as Magnezone, alright? So here's where I could go ahead and use something like, well, seeing as it's a ground type, the only thing best thing for me to do is go ahead and use Magnet Bomb on the Pokemon in the middle, use Ice Beam, oh wait, okay, no, he's a Dragon type, so actually we're going to use Ice Beam on, so let's take out Garchomp, because Garchomp is the most dangerous Pokemon on the field, so let's go back. We're going to go ahead and click Magnet Bomb on Garchomp. We're going to use, because I don't want to miss it all, Ice Beam on Garchomp instead of going for the bird. Then we're going to go ahead and use Crunch on the bird. I do not think my Greninja's Ice Beam is fast enough to actually take him out. Not fast enough, strong enough, but apparently it was. I wasn't sure if it was going to be strong enough, but it clearly was strong enough. It clearly was. Reason I said it wouldn't be strong enough, my Greninja's made just for speed. That's the only way I made this Greninja. I didn't make him to do anything else but then to be fast. So I wasn't going to be sure if it was going to be strong enough to actually survive that. And that attack just looks so awesome. It looks so cool. Brave Bird. And the Hippo is a champ because it's still sitting there strong as hell. Eat him up. And as you guys see, I have not brought out any legendaries into this match yet. So as you guys can see, you do this completely without legendaries. But I do have legendaries on my team if needed. So like our Sandstorm has actually stopped. What I'm going to do is just bring back out the Hippo. Next time I bring back in the Hippo, I will actually be able to start back the Sandstorm, which I'm going to be able to do on the same turn next. If you guys gonna probably like this a lot. Now here's a little strategy. If you only have one Pokemon on your team that can start the Sandstorm, this is what you guys are going to need to do. And as you guys can see, Charizard's HP went down by a whole lot because of the Stealth Rock. We're going to go ahead and use some Thunderbolt on Mr. Charizard over there because we're protected by the substitute because of Shocky's fine. Shocky is Magnezone. We're going to go ahead and use U-Turn. U-Turn is what's going to let us be able to start back over Sandstorm. We're going to go ahead and switch out using the Hippo, and the Hippo combined with the Sandstorm, the U-turns is going to make us be able to bring it right back out. So here we go. We're going to switch into Landorus, which is like basically my favorite Pokemon in the Sandstorm team because it has so much good like uses of ground type attacks, steel type attacks, and rock type attacks. Excellent move. So right here it is, guys. We're going to go ahead and use this. Kill him. Because it is super effective as a bug type. Now, if you guys have noticed, I've only lost one Pokemon, which was Hypno. And remember, Hypno was a sacrificial Pokemon. He was intended to die if needed. He comes back out, the Hippo. Sandstorm starts right back up. And everybody's still good. All my Pokemons are in the Sandstorm that they want. He goes ahead and uses Fire, which is what I expected him to do. Remember this, guys. That's why the substitute was set up so earlier, because I knew he had a Charizard on the field. I go ahead and use Thunderbolt. And that will be the end of Charizard because his actual attack is crazy. His special attack is so good, man. The Magnezone is really great. And that's match, guys. Hope you guys like this match I had with one of my subscribers, Ruben. It was a fun match. I came out with 5-0 using my strategies. I hope you guys like seeing these stuff with Sandstorm. I'm going to have other teams and other strategies to bring to you guys every single day in my Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battles. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more battles. Alright, guys. Peace out.